So one thing we didn't take into account is actually what happens if we change a little bit of the code. So let's say we print something to the console and we say hello world. Hell world. Hell world is good. Hell world. All right, let's do that. So, and if I hit F5 now, the game starts, obviously, just like before. Wow, it's a little bit loud, my end, sorry. All right. So, we don't see anything printed to the console. Well, that is because we didn't actually recompile. So, obviously, what we can do is go back into the console here and just say debug. Again, debug is 1 and say make. Okay. And then hit F5 here. Okay, now we see Hello World printed to the console. But you might think that's a little bit inconvenient, right? Which, in my opinion, it is. If we edit code here and we hit F5, or even edit it in another editor, if we hit F5 here, we want to recompile. So we can do that by adding a tasks.json file inside the .vs code folder. So we just do that, tasks.json. And what we can actually tell here is, or rather define, the steps that should be taken before the launch, one of those launch configurations is going to start. So we can add here another thing, and that's called the pre-launch task. And like the name already suggests, that is just a step that is being executed before the debugger actually starts. So we can just say something like maybe build debug, right? And we have to define this build debug thing. You can name it whatever you like, right? And this is a task, and we define tasks here. So, and that is also just like a JSON notation. We can say tasks and add an array of things, of tasks, right? And we just call it label. Oops! Oh wow! It already pre-configured a few things in my case. So we call it label or auto-completed rather, and build debug. Did we call it like that? Yeah, build debug, and in tasks.json we say the label is build debug. That's how you how they find each other, or rather how this pre-launch task knows which task to execute. It's a shell command. That is actually correct. Problem matcher, I actually haven't found out yet what that is being used for, quite frankly. But what is interesting is this command to be executed. And that it's just make, right? We want to build it. And since we need to add this environment variable, or rather set it, which is debug is equal to 1, right? That is actually another array you can add that's called args. And you could add several arguments here, but one is enough for us, right? And that way it will create the debug build. If you don't set this, it will create the release build, just we saw in the earlier video. Okay, so we can even set a group, what kind of task this, to which group this belongs to. And we set this by saying group, all right? And that's true. It's a it's a group it's a build, and let's say kind. Okay, and we also can say this should be, please set this group to be the default. So we can say is default, and we say true. Okay, let's add a comma here to make the JSON syntax happy. Okay. So, and we can also add some kind of description what this actually does, and then that's being done by setting a detail flag, and we can just add a descriptive name here like makefile debug build task. All right, and that should be it. Oh, and also Visual Studio Code likes to have this version field being set. In my case, it auto completes it to 200. Okay, but that is all that we need to add here. And now, if we actually hit F5, it should also execute this command, which is just make debug is equal to 1. All right, so it's just a way to automate stuff. Okay, so let us now again print something here. Hello world. Something like this. Okay, let's hit F5 and see if this is. Oh, you can already see how the task is running. Yeah, and hello world 666. Okay, then again, if we change something here, let's maybe create another debug string. Hit F5. Okay, so and you see it is spamming it to the console. So that is all there is to it, and let's have fun debugging Quake 2. Cheers and see you in the next one. Goodbye.